Street Smart Blueprint Reading. Family, my name is Joel Brown Jr., aka Black Phoenix, and I am from Little Rock, Arkansas. And from being from the streets, we learn things a little different. I was raised in Denver and I grew up in the small towns of McGee, Arkansas City, and Reed. And me being from the streets and moving fast, I learned numbers quick. Most of us that come from the streets, we know street things, even if you was doing drugs or on drugs or selling things in the streets, wholesale, the list goes on. We tend to look at things a lot different. I know a lot of people that have extremely book sense, but when it comes to street knowledge, they're kind of illiterate when it comes to that, and vice versa. But what I have noticed is a lot of us that's coming from the streets, it's easy to transition that knowledge over. It's easy to take the things that we learn from the streets and apply them to business. Now, one of the first things you have to learn is when coming from the streets, we know things like grams, ounces, 8 balls, things like that, fam. Birds, chickens, we use them type of knowledge and terminologies inside of our videos, inside of our songs, our music. So we're familiar with those terms. We're familiar with, man, I got 36. We're familiar with, I got 28 in the bag, 28 on the scale, things like that. So we're familiar with weighing things and selling things and, the urban knowledge of it. But when it comes to reading things like weld symbols and blueprints, I have seen a lot of students really get not just frustrated, but kind of shy away from man, that's a lie, but really it isn't. Really it isn't. When you first look at a print, you see all of these drawings, all of these numbers, all of this, and a lot of the things that you're seeing is not related to what you're going to be working with. And that's the thing you have to learn. You have to learn how to, like they say, have tunnel vision. You have to just focus on the things that you literally going to be using in the field. Now, when it comes to reading a tape measure, not just a tape measure, but to reading a print, you have to use the first basics of a tape measure. You have to learn how to read this, fam. And I always encourage people to learn a tape measure from a 16th to an inch. If you can get it from a 16th to an inch, you can read this whole 25-foot tape measure. You can read 35 miles. It can just go on. But if you can just get the basics of learning it from an inch, a 16th, like I said, we come from the street, so we're familiar with this. And I'm just going to break it down real quick. If you can learn it from a 16th or from your quarters to your halves to your wholes, that'll be the easiest way to get it. We know that there are 16ths in an inch. It's 16 of them. And we know that there are 8 eighths in an inch. And we know there are 4 quarters in an inch. And there are 2 halves in an inch. So if you would break down an inch like an ounce, it'll be easier to understand. Street knowledge. Like if you break down that you're going to break down this in 4 quarters, you got 4 quarters. A half of a quarter is an 1/8 or an 8 ball. Them just street terminology. So it's easy to think of it like that if that helps you understand it. There's nothing wrong with it because a lot of people that's real book smart, they can't do the same thing. So we have to utilize the knowledge where we're from. There's nothing wrong being from rural areas and you coming up hustling. But once you change, you don't have to abandon the knowledge. We got it, fam. We grew up in it. So we can use it now to help us understand new knowledge. And I want to say this. A lot of times when you're looking at weld symbols and they show you these guys, you see all of these symbols and all of these things in class, and you think you got to memorize all of this. But you don't. One of the main things that I would say to that you need to remember is remember the angle. Not the angle, the arrow, I'm sorry. Remember the arrow. The arrow is something you're going to see on a lot of prints. And it's going to have a couple things that you're going to have to remember on there, which is not real hard to remember. When you see this flag, when this is going to be done in the field, outside. So bring your welding hood or whoever the field crew iron worker welder is. It's going to be done outside. When you see this circle, knowing that the circle just stands for it's going to be welded all the way around that joint. If it's a square, a circle, or angle, or whatever, it's going to be welded all the way around. When you see the direction, this is pointing you to the direction of the joint, where this procedure is going to be done at. Normally this tail end right here is going to have all these specific specs, the things is, you need to know. It's going to be here. The top side or the arrow side is going to be letting you know what side of the weld you're going to be working on. Is it going to be on the opposite side or the arrow side? These are real easy elements to learn, but I would just get familiar with this. Now, when it comes to a lot of different weld symbols, fam, you see all these weld symbols. I'm going to give you about 5, 6 that you're going to actually see. You know what I mean? That you're going to use. Especially, I'm a structural welding instructor, and I also am a 6G pipe welder. And the things that I have done in the structural field, welding pipe using 6010, 7018, or putting in a root with a TIG root and then 7018 all the way out. There's only certain things I have seen. And I've been in the field welding now over 21 years. And one of the things that I have seen is what we talked about all the way around, backing, having a backing strip, arrow side, field welding, fillet welds, what side is going to be on, both sides, a V-groove, a bevel. You have all of these different kinds, flare bevels. You have all these different kinds, but these are the most common I've seen in the field. The backing all the way around, the field weld symbol, the fillet weld symbols, and the V and bevel symbols. Those are the ones you're going to see. Now, when it comes to different joints, these are the basic joints. These are the basic joints. You got butt joints, you got corner joints, you got T-joints, you got lap joints, and you got parallel joints. If they're coming straight together. These can be straight up butt joints, parallel, or they can have the V in it or a bevel in it. The information isn't real hard, family, but you just have to get yourself in front of it. And a lot of times, like I say, when you're looking at these prints, you'll get intimidated. But if you zoom in on some, like if I flip around on this one, and I just come in on some, this one right here, all the way around. That's what it's telling us, to weld all the way around this joint. So the basic things, a lot of times we'll get frustrated and we'll think, man, I got to learn all of this, and you'll get intimidated. But really, it's not hard at all. But you have to get started, and you have to put this knowledge in front of you. The main thing is, like I say, if you can just get you a basic tape measure, or nowadays, like I say, there's apps on your phone you can download that'll help you learn the tape measure. But learning these things like the tape measure and basic weld symbols is going to increase your pay. If you're just going to weld and weld alone, it's going to limit how far you can rise. But if you're really trying to make some income, if you're really trying to level up, if you're really trying to maximize the trade of welding, learn the basic things like learning the tape measure, learning blueprints, transitioning the knowledge that you already have from the streets, because you can use that knowledge. Don't abandon it just because, oh man, I used to be this. Listen, let me say something. We are all coming from different aspects of life. My color might be blue, your color might be red, his color might be yellow, his color might be purple, his color might be green, that color might be burgundy. It doesn't matter, family. We're all coming from different standpoints, but we're all going to the same spot. We're all trying to get this information. And I like hearing how someone say they got it from their side, without being from their side. That's okay. And I think like us embracing how we came up, our rough times, the hard times, we have to put that information together, especially coming from the streets, especially the brothers that's coming from hard and rural areas or rough environments. That's one reason, family, why I kept my beard and I kept my gold teeth, because I want the youngsters who's coming up, who's familiar with seeing things like this, knowing that you can still transcend, you can still get some information, and you can change a situation. Coming soon, our goal is to bring a welding program to Arkansas Baptist College. We're going to have a 16-week program and a 6-week program geared to help the inner city. Those who are from getting out of high school, changing their careers from, let's say, 17 to 25, 17 to 24. And then we're going to have an open program, open for the community, for those who want to get a 6-week program to dive straight into something. So it's going to be like 6 to 8 weeks. So that's the goal, fam. You have to start somewhere. So I'm going to be in Little Rock, Arkansas teaching. Like I say, I am from the streets, fam. I have changed. You can change. Once you start getting more information in front of you, you can start doing better things. My goal is to help those who are willing to help themselves. Fam, I know there are many people that you can see they need help, but if they're not willing to put in the work, there's nothing you can do. So if you're willing to put in the work, check out some of my videos. All you have to do is take your time. I'm going over things verbatim. I'm in the booth with you. If there's videos I can help you with, all you have to do is leave a comment and I jump right on it. For those who want to get their hog on with me, fam, it's hoodie season. You see, I got mine on. All you have to do is go to Amazon Prime and put in hog on welding, hoodies, tank tops. I have long sleeves, whatever you want. I have a whole collection on Amazon. For those who want to get some of my ebooks, you can check out the link in my bio on my YouTube channel. All the ebooks are available. My new one is Monetize Your Torch, for those who want to take their welding skills further into some passive income. I appreciate those who've been following me. Continue to be blessed. Hog on.